Hey, I'm at Brown. Beautiful school, beautiful campus, and I want to cover really quickly some tips for the Common App, the supplements in general, not just Brown. You're going to get some shorter questions, some shorter supplements potentially, that don't call for a complete 600, 700, 650 word response. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be creative. Like, Brown asks for a couple questions on who you are, your community, why you're interested in the school, and you only get 100, 150, 200 words to complete those, and some students answer all of them in a very similar tone, perspective. They're all pretty bland. Don't do that. You probably are taking English courses that allow you to actually write creatively, or you study creative writing. Open with dialogue. Open with an interesting scene, a vivid image for the reader. Just because something's only 150 words doesn't mean the expectation isn't that it should be really creative. I see some students, they write a longer 650 word supplement. It's very fascinating, using a lot of school research, very interesting, and you have a set of questions that maybe in total equals 650 words, like 100 words, 150, 200 word response, like a set of 3 or 4 shorter supplement questions on the Common App, and they don't bring that same creativity to their writing. Now, it might be a little bit harder, and you have to be more mindful of space, obviously, but it doesn't mean that the expectation isn't that you deliver a lot of interesting school-specific details and details on yourself. So some students will see that they have a number of shorter supplements for a school, and they'll discount the importance of those. You're doing yourself a disservice. Students who are making the most out of those 4, say 150 word questions, they're standing out because if you're writing 4 different stories, you can show off even more of a range of skills. If you're a good writer, you can show off your entire toolkit, because each paragraph, each 150 word, 200 word response in the supplement can be a totally different style, and that's a lot easier to achieve than changing styles dramatically in one longer piece. So it's a great opportunity to stand out. If you write very bland, I plan to do this starting I've seen students who are otherwise very intelligent writing great supplements start every paragraph in say a set of 4 supplements with, I plan to do this, I did this, I did that. No interest in the reader's enjoyment, and no hook, no basic creative writing, storytelling tactics at play. You want to break up your response into multiple paragraphs just by starting a new paragraph, right? A line break can show an entirely new thought, can show a transition, and instead of wasting word count transitioning from one idea to another in one long paragraph, having multiple paragraphs, multiple shorter paragraphs is a much more effective way to say a lot in a small space, because you're showing that you've advanced to a new idea, not by wasting words, but by simply starting a new paragraph, jumping a line. So it's a really great way to save yourself 15 words here, 15 words there, in transitional sentences that you really don't need if you just start a new paragraph. So behind me is the Jameson Mead House. That's where a lot of Jameson and mead drinking occurs. So stupid jokes like that, don't filter yourself. Make them, and you can always edit them out later on. And even if it's a shorter response, still make the joke, and don't filter yourself on your initial drafts, initial run through. Write as much as you can, even if it's a little silly, even if you're going through a tunnel. If it's a little silly, write it, stick with it, and overwrite. So if a piece only calls for 150 words, write 300, then you can pick the strongest 150. You don't really know it until you've written it. You don't know what's the strongest 150 if you only hit 150, right? That's all you have to edit. So overwrite it first. That's what creates the funniest essays, and don't filter yourself at all. Make a funny joke. If it's too edgy, if it's not appropriate, edit it out later. But I see a lot of students limit themselves by writing right to the word limit in their initial draft and not showing their full personality. That doesn't mean we don't edit something out, but again, we don't know if an idea, if a joke, if a concept, if a strategy works until you try it. So give it a shot. Don't filter yourself in your initial drafts. Even if you have a couple months left, only a couple weeks left, still go through the process of writing a lot and then editing later on. Keep watching these videos if you want. Thanks for watching. Get writing, get to it, and don't give up. This is just one part of your life. Make the most of it, have fun, and that's really it for today.